I look like a floating head. Dark jumper, dark room, one light on. Spooky. This video... Oh, I'm stressed out to the max. I don't know, do you find reviewing de-stresses you? I've been thinking, I'm sidetracking, I'm digressing. The first thing I'm going to ask is, do you find that just reviewing de-stresses you? Is it one of the things that you like to do when you've had a bad day? Is it the equivalent of playing some records or watching some telly or just doing whatever kind of makes you have a nice deep breath and slow the heart rate down a bit? I enjoy reviewing. It's just because I've noticed that A, the reviewing scene has become quite stagnant lately. B, I'm really worried that I'm part of that stagnation. And C, I don't really care because I'm going to keep doing it anyway. But I'm just interested to hear what you think. This video is dedicated. It's absolutely, completely dedicated to Mr. Drew Siffer, who was very disgruntled that I'd left it on a cliffhanger of a cliff jumper, or a jump cliffer, or whatever. Because we got to hear. Hang on. More light, please. There we go. We got to hear, and then we stopped. But we only stopped because we need to go here. And it was Mr. Drucifer that actually I saw this for the first time. And when I'll be honest, when I looked at your video, I thought, that's a load of shit. That's awful. Then when you're actually sat with stuff in front of you, because up until now, the only combiner that I owned was a Devastator, and that's a knockoff. It's a beautiful, beautiful knockoff. It's a knockoff nonetheless. So I'm sat there with that and this in front of me, thinking, they go together. And then I got them home and I didn't know about them. And I read all the literature and the stuff, and then I saw that Inferno really goes with Hot, and I'm like, but they don't go together. And I really, really wanted to just ditch it altogether. I didn't want it anymore. I was just like, no, I don't want them. I want my money back. They don't combine. But then they do combine. I just sat and did a little bit of homework, watched an Eros 1 video on overjumper, and yeah, they do. They combine. So, let's stick them together. Firstly, you got a really, really nice translucent red gun, which does have a habit of going off quite easily, so that's probably going to piss me off. You got this strange sight thing. It's very, very like the one in the Energon cartoon, but it's awful because you've got tabs to attach it all over the place. That's a tab to attach it. That's a tab to attach it. That's a tab to attach it, and that's a tab to attach it. So you've got tabs poking out all over the place, and you've got holes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can attach it using the longer protruded end on that side or on that side. I don't mind that. It's all right, I suppose. It doesn't look quite right in the back here. It's too far away. I would have thought it would be up the front like that and just on with a toy. Hotshot. I'm watching Energon at the moment. I'm on episode 16. I would like to point out that not only is Kicker a total douche, but his dad is even worse. Kicker's dad's such a muppet. And his girlfriend's a knobber too. She's just so horribly sort of, yes, Kicker, no, Kicker. It's just, get some character, will you? Ugh. Hotshot, he's alright in the cartoon, but he's a bit too, he's ugly, isn't he? He's just ugly. I mean, if you're going to craft a bot's face to be ugly, then you'd make it like one of the movie Decepticons. It's just ugly. Ugh, we'll go through it in a moment. What you do is you take your toy Okay, let's go through it, shall we? So he's a sports car. I quite like the way that the front arches are all flared and then the doors are recessed. It's quite sort of 1989 Porsche-esque. I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me in the least. He's got all of this sort of nice bright yellow livery. What did we say about yellow in the last one? I like the yellow. Don't like the earthy colours. This guy is much better on the colour chart. He's got a little spoiler that goes up at the back like that. It looks a bit daft. It looks better down like that. They only really go up because that's the feeties. Feet are very small. Massive legs, tiny feet. Doesn't matter. It's never going to fall over because it's just... I mean, there's chunky bots, which is great. And then there's brick. And this is what you make houses out of. Let's move on. I'm going to flap that down like that and just sort of make some space, and lift that out like that and just sort of make some space. I'm not used to doing it this way round. I'm quite enjoying it because it's a lot more chatty. But let's start getting stuff out of the way, okay? Then we're going to take the knees, flap them down like that, take the legs, to point it at you, and pull. Easy as that. Split the legs like that, and then as I said, you take these and flap them up and put the feet out. So take that, flap that up, take the feet and point them out like that. Okay, we're nearly there. It's a child's toy, and children could play with this. I mean, all right, let's be pedantic, okay? Oh. Children couldn't play with that. I can barely play with that. I can, don't get me wrong. Don't go, I can. Yeah, but even so, let's see, children's toys. I mean, would you give a child that? Or would you be worried that it was just going to be broken within 5 minutes and then you would have broken your lovely toy? This doesn't matter. Bits fall off this all the time. You just pop them back on. It has its place. Has its place. Not much. Well, it's not really got. It's really stiff, but it doesn't make any noise. There's no ratcheting in this. It's slightly disappointing. So you take that. Arms. Well, that's the. Oh, you got to twist them round. First, you store them that way, and then you got to turn them around that way to action them. Arms pretty much do that and that a little bit, and that's it. Really? Really? That's the best you're going to get. Now, what I have had a habit of doing is splitting the shoulder. Split the shoulder, which is really your combined mode transformation bit. But if you split the shoulder a little and just don't have the pegs set in and just do it like that a little bit, it doesn't bugger up the aesthetic of the robot, but just gives his arms a bit more width. It just looks a bit prettier. Much better. Lift the bonnet up, or if you're in America, the hood. And then in here you've got a big old slab of plastic which you've got to just use the head inside, push that round. You've got an Autobot logo on the bonnet. You can never really see it when it's in car mode. It's a bit strange. Flap that down flat on the back. There is a double hinge there, so you've got to really coerce that double hinge to sit flat, and then that will sit flat against the back. Okay, flap that bit round, lift the head up. The head is on this gangly, horrible spindle. It doesn't turn left or right, it won't look up or down, because where you've got these bits underneath that sit in, you have to sit that on all of this combiner gubbins, like that, which means you've got no head articulation. Now, if you bear with me, I'm going to turn the viewfinder around a moment, because I need you to be able to see this. I need some. I'm gonna pick you up for a minute. I'm very close, but I need you to see. Look. Really? Is that the best head sculpt you can come up with? Oh. being allowed out. Is that really the best head sculpt that you could come up with? It's god awful. I'm just going to put you back for a second. So to carry on, Hotshot he kind of lives up to his name in the cartoon. He's quite a good character, or rather he's quite a well-respected character, if that makes sense. You've got Ironhide, who's more or less a douchebag, and I would love the Ironhide toy, because it looks just like a Tonka toy. You could definitely beat that into skirting boards when you're 6 years old and go for ages, and all you do is dent the skirting boards. It wouldn't hurt the toy. Love that. Transforms Energon Hotshot. Also, the wings go like that if you put the arms out. It's all about having offset angles, isn't it? If everything's too 90 degrees to each other, it just looks like it's cheaply drawn Chinese animated cartoon. Smart crystal thing there. They've all got Autobot logos inside them, which I quite like. Now he will become legs, and he will become arms. And I have done him being the legs and Overjumper being the arms, and it's stupid. It's awful. So I'm going to make him arms, okay? So remember that from the other one? If you haven't, go and watch the other one first. It's long. It's alright. I got smoked to death. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to take all of this gubbins and fold all of that back up. Open the bonnet back up, turn that like that, and we're just going to get rid of all that and put that back inside for a minute, because we're going to need it in a minute. We're going to lift the arms all the way to the side, and we're going to fight with the toy, flap that all down like that, and turn that round like that. So now everything's kind of backwards. Yeah, so we've gone from there, we're going all the way around to there. Okay, cool. As with the leg mechanism on this one's time going to make an actual difference. So you're going to take the hips, split, okay, which is going to give you some kind of semblance of making this arms, maybe. We'll do it properly. Put that back up, put those out like that, and that out like that, then turn that backwards, then open that up, which means the wingy bits are going to be sticking out the top, which is how it's supposed to be. Okay, that gives you lots of lovely space to do these. I've done it wrong. No, they definitely need to go up like that. To carry on. Then you've got this bit under here, which is your connector mechanism, which you've probably all seen before. I hadn't seen it before. I think it's quite clever. It's ugly. It's a brilliant idea that's not particularly well implemented, but it is a good idea. Then all you need to do is go and get your head. So the head is stuck in there somewhere, so you've got to pull all of that rubbish through. You've got to put that like that, put that like that. It's a bit complicated doing this head bit when he's in like doubled up mode. So that's all got to come through there. That's got to go like that. Then you just turn the head upside down and plonk the head on like that. But it just sort of floats. Look, if I can, we'll see if we can get in close, but that's the big hole in between the hips. Okay, so you push that forward, and there's two slots there to make sure everything sits in place. Okay, but then the head, when it comes down, floats in the middle of nowhere. So you can push it right inside like that. At least now he can look up and down. But yeah, it just floats in the. As Drew said in his video, and I might link to his video on here, but when Drew spoke about Hotshot, he did agree that he's absolutely appalling and just You know, when you're trying to talk about Energon toys and you're trying to talk about what's hot and what's not and what you like and what's cack and that sort of thing, this is pretty much cack. But it's endearing, it's bright yellow and chunky and you can play with it. It's fine. So that's that bit. Okay, now he doesn't have even a semblance of hands. Now there are digits painted on the back bumper there. I'm going to put these away because they don't really need to be out. Push the spoiler down. There are digits painted on the back bumper like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 fingers and lines drawn there to give some sort of semblance of trying to make it out looking like it was. It's not very good. But these holes now become something you can stick those into. So we can hold most of the weapons that come with these guys, because he can hold the yellow weapons off the other guys. Well, so then what you do is we take our massive, great big Energon Disguster painting toy, and you take all of that gubbins under there and all of that gubbins in there, and you just wiggle it around till it fits, and then all you've got to do is push it together. And there we have the massively legged. If you had a jet fire on top of this, it would look a lot better or something like that. But I don't mind it. Look, aside from the head's tiny, it's looked like you want a proper combiner head. But look, it's all right. I quite like it. And because of the way you've turned everything upside down, his shoulders will lift up. So he looks a bit more dynamic. They will go down. You can put that all the way down like that. You've got articulation forwards and backwards. You've got articulation forwards and backwards. You've got knee articulation. It'll twist at the angle. Well, just under the thing, but it kind of goes for an ankle twist. And then these bits at the back, which I've left on purpose, which on the video I saw, they would just tuck down like that all the way around. Oh, I'd be ashamed. I reckon if you tuck the handies, which I should have done and didn't, if you spin all that around like that, okay, and then you flap all that around so that goes up like that, I think it just gives him a bit more style with all the crap sticking out the back of him. I quite like that. It's nice. See? And then you can actually sort of angle stuff like that, and just a bit of creative license to make him look nice when he stood there. I love Energon. I want all of it. And just a very quick addendum to the let's put him here so you can see. A very quick addendum to the video that we did last time. A couple of you said, how are we supposed to know what Optimus Prime that was, because you never pulled the box close enough? It's Wing Saber, which I've looked up all over the place, and it's about £60 if you want to buy one, and to buy an Energon Prime is about 40 quid. So I'm looking at the best part of £100 if I want to buy a Wing Saber Prime auto assembly. I will do it though. This has been SMS number 1. I'm just enjoying a nice de-stressing ramble about Energon toys. If you like it, click the button, subscribe. I've done alright for as I said, I'm in this discussion point. I'm opening a discussion point for any of you that want to get involved with it. Even if you had only 5 or 6 people watch a video, I average about 50 within 2 days, and then it sort of ramps up over a little while. But when you do see people having 300 within the first 2 days, does it make you want to give up? Does it make you want to be better than you are? Or would you just go and do it anyway? I'm genuinely interested to see what people think. So this has been SMS number 1 saying good luck with the move, Time Lord. Peace.